One of the first issues I see with beginners is choosing too much clay to begin with. When you're first learning how to throw on the wheel, it's better to go with about a pound of clay. Though a large piece of clay seems more impressive, and I admire your confidence, I would start with something smaller just to get the hang of it and work your way up. Keep in mind that the shape your clay starts in also matters. Whether you just wedged it or just cut it off of the brick, it could make your throwing experience much more difficult. So, take the time to pack your clay into a ball, because the rounder it is when you start, the easier it's going to be to center. Throwing on the wheel is hard, and therefore it can be kind of frustrating for some. And that's okay. Please know that a lot of these issues that are coming up happen for a lot of people. It's not you. So before you get frustrated with your clay not sticking to the wheel, follow these next few steps. Once again, it is important that your clay starts as round as possible. It just makes it easier to center. Then, get a little bit of water on your finger and draw an X in the middle of your wheel or on your back. This makes the surface a little more sticky so that you have a fighting chance of keeping it stuck. Also, keep your hands as wet as possible at all times. Sometimes your clay can come off the wheel even if you did follow that previous step, and I know this is frustrating. So, if this happens to you, get a metal rib and scrape some of the slip and water off of the bottom of your piece of clay, because there is such thing as your clay being too wet. You also want to use a dry sponge or a dry towel to dry off your wheel head. In this case, you do not need another water X. Your clay already has enough sticky on it. So, pack it back into a ball, stick it back down to the wheel head, squish it down, pat it on top a couple times, and you should be good to go. Keep your hands wet. Put all your pressure down. Your left hand should be pushing into the clay, your right hand making a cup, pushing down on top of the clay. Lean on top of your clay, putting all of your body weight into the top of the clay. Your clay should seal to the wheel head right here, and that is how you know your clay should stay stuck to the wheel. Body position and stability is the biggest key to centering. If your arms aren't in the right place, you rely too much on shoulder strength to get your clay centered. If this is you and your clay looks like this, here's how we fix it. Push your clay back towards the middle of the wheel. Some potters would say take it off and start over, but we're just practicing. So we're going to take a hard rib, scrape any extra clay off at the sides, and pretend like nothing happened. Then, keeping our hands wet, we're going to bring our elbows in and down. Lean on your splash pan. This way you can rely on your body weight rather than your upper body strength. Pushing down on top of your clay, keeping your elbows in tight. Just remember, the more stable you are, the more stable your clay is going to be. So keep your arms down and in tight to your body. Coning up is a part of the centering process that not all potters do. I typically cone up more with larger pieces of clay, but either way, if you're coning up and you rip a piece of clay off, it is possible to stick that back on. It will create an air bubble, so we'll have to fix it, but stick it back on the top. Then you're going to put your right hand in a cup, your left hand on the side, lean on top of your clay with your body weight, with your elbows into your sides tight. Then, to cone up properly, you want to apply lots of pressure with your palms into the back, and then wrap your fingers around like you're squeezing a bottle of ketchup. Lift your arms with the clay and let go gently at the top. Like I said, 4 or 5 more times should be good. When you're ready to cone back down, it's important to remember to support the clay from all sides. If you approach with an open hand position, your clay is going to turn into this squashy mountain ice cream shape. So, remember, when you're coning up, press in from the back with your palms, squashing back into your palms with your fingers as you lift your arms. Then, when you're ready to cone back down, press in with your left hand, make a cup with your right hand, set that on top. Lean into your clay with your whole body, supporting the clay from all sides. When you support the clay from all sides, the clay is going to follow the shape of your hands. And the shape we're looking for is this nice gumdrop shape. There's a lot of different hand positions that potters use to center their clay, but what works best for me is my left hand on the side, my right hand in a fist on top. But sometimes for beginners, they push more with their knuckles, and that can create holes in the top before you're actually ready to open your clay. So a good way to fix this is to use more of a flat karate chop action on top. I lean in with my left, I press down with my karate chop right hand, and when I know my clay is centered, I let go slowly. Well, how do I know my clay is centered? Well, with my wheel moving, my clay should look like it's sitting still. It's really important to remember as you're pressing down and in with your hand to let go slowly, otherwise your clay can come back off center. This is a centered piece of clay. This is a not centered piece of clay. Remember, your clay should look like it's sitting still even though your wheel is moving. So pressing in with my left, pressing down with my right, let go slowly, and your clay should be centered. Thanks for watching my first WTF video about centering your clay. It is the most important part of throwing on the wheel, so if I missed something or if you have any new questions, feel free to leave those in the comments section below.